Can you tell me if there are some gentleman's agreement and scummy things not to do? Bro. Using the Odin is not a scummy thing to do, and you're mental if you think that that's the case. Players don't use the Odin because they're stupid. Players don't practice with the Odin because they are stupid. You meant in general. I mean, you can't refer to Brawk and not go on a rant about it, because like everyone seems to be thinking that like these are true facts. Odin is broken. Brawk is good with the Odin. Brawk is 10 out of 10 with Odin. 3, players don't use Odin enough. All these 3 things are true. This is the one that annoys me the most though. If players just used it more, it would be nerfed by now. But instead, it's not. And instead, a player uses it the best it's ever been used and helps win them a trophy. So like, how can anyone be annoyed at anyone but the players? And I really hate that, like, in countering this, like, I've had people also say that, why are you only saying the Odin's broken now? As if I haven't been trying to get teammates of mine to use the Odin for 5 years. Like, it's mental. I feel like in every stream, I feel like at some point I probably said this gun is broken. Also, before someone wins the next champs using the judge is also broken, by the way. The judge is still broken. It's absolutely broken. The judge and the Odin are still broken. If you look at the way that JJ and Ilya both use the judge, it's broken on attack and defense. As soon as Crow came out, there was a big conversation topic, but we still don't we don't see as much as there should be. That's also true. On this map in particular, I felt like an idiot analyst. Like, it was the first time I felt like there was a dissonance between me as an analyst versus me as a coach, because I thought that as an analyst, I was like, the Odin should be used in this map, and then nobody was using it, and therefore I just presumed there was good reasons from a coaching perspective why people weren't using it. But because I wasn't really involved in coaching the same way as in the past, I wasn't sure if I was correct or not. So it was the first time I felt this like awkward dissonance between being an analyst who doesn't have the same level of insight from a coaching perspective. And yet now I feel like, okay, I was right. Like, it is just disgusting on this map. I think it's just broken in general though. I think that also some people's solutions, or like, I don't know who's saying it, but like on Reddit, the common response will be, it's not the Odin, it's the maps. And that pisses me off so much, because it's not the maps. The Odin should be able to spam through walls. Like, we do want walls to be able to be spammed through. There should be a unique selling point to this gun. Maybe some of the maps need a tiny bit of alteration, but ultimately we can't have maps without spammable walls, because that takes away an interesting strategic idea. What needs to happen is they need to nerf the Odin in a way that it makes gunfights not fair, if that makes sense. Like, you can't have... The Odin shouldn't be able to go up against a Vandal in a fair fight, if that makes sense. I think that the solutions that I've talked about with people at Champions, the best 2 solutions are either to have a wind up to the gun, where you cannot immediately shoot the gun when you start shooting it. There needs to be some kind of wind up. You cannot just take a duel against a Vandal and immediately be able to shoot. Or it starts inaccurate. Like, so you start the gun so it's relatively inaccurate, and then as you shoot the gun more, it becomes more accurate. Like, those are the kind of nerfs I'd be looking to make. You could also go for like a more kind of just simple one, where it's just like less bullets, less damage, or speed. Like, this would be like a common kind of standard nerf. Reworking the gun into this way is probably the more reasonable, in my opinion. I don't mind reworking the gun. I don't mind just simply nerfing it in a very standard way. It's not to take anything away from what Brawk has done. I think people saying that he didn't deserve the MVP or all those kind of things are stupid. I also do think, though, the game is more boring to watch when someone is stood inside of tree on Lotus and just spams the gun through the door at the start of the round. The gun is broken, but Brawk puts so much practice to it, I respect it. No, absolutely, I agree. Like, if there is something broken in the game, you need to abuse it. Like, you abuse it. Like, that is what professional Valorant is. Like, it's stupid to me that players don't, and it's stupid to me that those complaining about Brawk as if it's his fault. It also does require a bit more skill than people think. Like, it reminds me a bit like Ye on Chamber. It's like, Chamber is broken, but Ye was the GOAT of Chamber. It's just unfortunate that it's something that isn't the most viewer-friendly experience. We should hate Riot, not Brawk. I know that Riot Speak has like a players council kind of thing, and maybe they talk about that kind of stuff sometimes. I don't know. I do feel like it's the kind of thing that maybe I should ask about. People hate on Brawk as if Bursa wasn't on one of the first people spamming from True. Bursa doesn't buy the Odin as much, but yeah, I mean, I'm taking credit for that one though. I think I watched a tier 2. I might even have watched it from Brawk. Who was Tanny? Who did Tanny's coach in tier 2 NA? Was it MX Moist Moguls? Oh my god, I think I copied Brawk. I copied Brawk in 2024. Yeah, because that's so funny. I copied Brawk. So in 2024, Tier 2 started before VCT did. So the first people to play would have been America's Challengers. But I think I copied it. It wasn't at the start of the year. I remember watching Brawk on Lotus. Was it Brawk? He's playing Sky. Americans with their Sky, man. Maybe it wasn't Brawk. Probably was Brawk. He wasn't using that game, it didn't look like. I liked the idea of spamming C, you know, like C on Lotus through the wall from Waterfall, and then through the wall for sight, you know, on C. Like on C, you got the pillar here. You can spam through this wall, and then the plant over here, right? In the corner, you can spam this way. So I quite like the Odin there, and then the Odin on tree, obviously, I was like, oh, you could use the Odin tree too. So I was suggesting to Leo to buy it more, but he just refused to. So then both ended up buying it. It could have been MXS, maybe, yeah.